So this is how I would go about increasing my panel while I'm also working the German short rows for fuller busts for people who are knitting the Baudelaire top and who would like the panel with the cutouts to be the front panel. What I did already is placing 2 stitch markers where I would like my short rows to end. I don't want to knit the last stitches on the side, obviously, for these short rows. I am going to use a contrasting color so that you can see better what is going on. Without the short rows, we are supposed to increase on the second and the one but last stitch of the panel. Because we're doing short rows, we are going to increase in the middle section of the panel and not on the second stitch and last but one stitch. So you have to increase within the short rows area. So first I'm gonna simply start knitting my panel on the right side, which is where I stopped. I'm gonna knit a few stitches. I'm knitting the stitch that's gonna be the last stitch of my short row when I return. I'm gonna knit one more, and then I'm going to do my increase just right here. So that's my knit, front loop, back loop. Oops. Here you go. So that's it, I just did the increase. And I'm gonna keep going. So I'm leaving one stitch between the increase and the stitch where I want to work the short row. I will meet you on the other side where we're going to do the exact same thing symmetrically. Alright, I'm 3 stitches away from the stitch where I want to work my first turn from my first German short row. I'm gonna knit this one, and then I'm gonna leave one where nothing's gonna happen, this one, and I'm gonna work the increase here, knit, front loop, back loop, and here we go, that's it. And I knit one more stitch, and now we're gonna work our first short row. I'm still going to knit this one, here you go. Now we turn the work. This is just the classic way of doing German short rows. We slide the stitch from the left needle to the right needle without twisting it, and we pull the yarn to the back so as to create this double stitch instead of having one stitch. Now I have as if it were 2 stitches instead of 1, and because I want to go back and start purling, I bring the yarn to the front. Alright, so we did 2 stitches on the right side, and I'm not going to increase on the wrong side, on the purl side. That's not necessary. I'm going to increase only every 2 rows. We'll meet you at the next short row turn. So I'm almost there where I want to work this short row on the stitch. I don't need to increase anything on the wrong side, so I keep going. I'm gonna still work this stitch that I marked, and I'm gonna work the short row. That's the very standard technique of turning the work, like before. Little subtle change: when you do it on this side, you put the yarn at the front before you pass the stitch from the left needle to the right needle, and that's simply so that you can pull back on your yarn, pull back on this thread, so as to create your kind of double stitch. And because the yarn is already at the back and we are knitting and not purling, we will just leave it there. So that's I knitted one more stitch. I'm gonna work another increase here like we did the first time. I like to leave space between increases and short rows just for the sake of clarity. That is up to you. But as you can see, I just did my turn, and then I did 1 stitch and then 1 increase, so this is exactly the same way as before. Now what we're gonna do is I'm going to show you how to resolve the short rows. For symmetry's sake, I'm going to work one more increase before I resolve so that there's the same amount of decreases on both sides. I'm doing only one short row because this is an example, but you could keep going like this. So here it's very simple. When you encounter this double stitch that you will knit both legs of that stitch together as if to do a knit two together, and that's literally it. And then you will keep knitting until the end of the row and turn your work. I finished the row, I'm going to purl, and when I encounter the double stitch I will show you what to do. So I'm about to reach the double stitch I made previously. That's the last normal stitch. Here you go. I purl it, and just as we did a knit two together on the other side, here we're going to do a purl two together. So that's super easy. You simply enter as if to purl, and you grab, like before, you grab both legs of your weird looking stitch and you purl it all together, and that is it. Then you will finish knitting your row normally. So we increased the middle of the fabric so that you have space for the bust, and that's it. We are done. Do this as many times as required for your size. We have more rows in the middle and on the sides, and we are increasing the width of the fabric at the same time. I hope this is helpful. If you know a better technique, don't hesitate to let me know, and bye!